This recipe is called Poached Pears with red wine and cardamom syrup. It's a nice recipe for this time of year because Bosc pears are in season, and there's relatively few ingredients. You need 1.5 cups of sugar, a cinnamon stick, some cardamom, some red wine, and a fairly large sized pot. Don't skip the cardamom. Most people don't have it in their cupboards, and it is a little expensive, but it's really what makes this dish unique. The next step is to prepare the poaching liquid. To do this, you add the red wine, a cinnamon stick, 6 crushed cardamom pods, and 1.5 cups of sugar. And you heat this on medium to high heat until it's boiling and until all the sugar is dissolved. The next step is to peel and core the pears. And these pears are pretty small. You need 6 pears. So because these are so small, I use 7. Again, the pears need to be firm, but make sure they're still ripe. Halve the pears, but leave the stem on one side, and then core them. And just remove the base. Okay, and once you have all your pears done, the poaching liquid should be ready. So once the poaching liquid is boiling, you can turn the heat down to a simmer, and you can add the pears. Try and be a little bit careful, you don't want to bruise them, because then they kind of look discolored at the end. This pot's a little big, so the poaching liquid is not very high and doesn't cover the pears. So in this case, you're going to want to make sure to stir them pretty regularly so that they stay submerged and touch the poaching liquid as often as possible. But the nice thing about having a larger pot is the red wine will reduce into the syrup a lot faster, so it's kind of a trade-off. So then you let these sit and simmer for 30 minutes. So after the pears have simmered for 30 minutes, they should be this nice red color and be tender to the touch. We then turn off the heat and take them off heat to cool down in the poaching liquid. And you want to let them sit for about 30 minutes. And the sugar in the poaching liquid should have been absorbed by the pears and allows them to kind of hold their shape on the plate. So after the pears have cooled for 30 minutes, you remove them from the poaching liquid. I just put them on a plate, and you want to let them cool down further to room temperature outside of the liquid. While those are cooling, turn the heat back up on the burner and reduce down the wine to about 2 cups to make the syrup. So here you can see the poaching liquid has reduced quite a bit. It's about 2 cups. This is kind of the hard part. You kind of have to gauge for yourself. But I can see that it's pretty thick, and when this cools it'll be even thicker. So I think this is about ready. So next you need to strain it. And so I'll just use this stainless steel fine meshed sieve to strain the syrup. just want to do that because the cardamom pods, the insides of them have small fragments that you aren't very pleasant to get while you're eating a pear. So that's it. I've got a bowl of syrup, and once this cools, you can pour it over some ice cream and the pears for the final dish.